Hey everybody, welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. It's Sunday morning, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for the weekly watches, and this week we have 7 films to talk about. I seem to have got on a roll of one a day last few weeks, which is a decent average, so let's crack on right with it. And we'll start with the start, which is as good a place as any, I suppose. First of the week was East of Eden, directed by Elia Kazan, who more I see of him, absolutely fantastic director. Just check out this guy's filmography. It's just hit movie after hit movie after classic, and East of Eden, no exception to that. Now, this is the second film I've watched of the 3 James Dean films after Rebel Without a Cause a few weeks ago, and James Dean is held as this sort of mythical actor now, and I can see why, because he's absolutely fantastic in this. Really got an aura about him. This is about James Dean, and he's trying to get the favour of his father, who's always uh, favoured his brother more than him, and doesn't matter what James Dean does, he can never seem to get in the same good books as his brother does. And just a story of family dynamics, which really good. I really enjoyed this. Well worth a watch. I think the Blu-ray not too expensive, so I'd recommend anybody to grab a copy of that. And got one more James Dean to watch, Giant. Then I've watched them all. I think Giant's quite a long one, about 3 hours, so I've got to get onto that. Well, absolutely god of an actor he was. Died tragically far too young. Next up, I watched Brigitte Bardot in, sorry about the glare, and God Created Women. What a film this was as well. Directed by Roger Vadim. And there's a graveyard scene in this, and Roger Vadim is actually buried in the same graveyard that's in the scene. This is about Bardot's character. She falls in love with one brother and marries the other brother, and a look at the conflict it causes in the family. And at the same time, the local businessman is trying to buy up the two brothers' land to build a casino on it, and he also falls for Bardot. And this film put Bardot on the map as a sex kitten, if you like, and you can see why, because she absolutely smoulders in this. What a brilliant performance for us! Real screen siren she is in this. Also, this is set in Saint Tropez, and it's put Saint Tropez on the map. This is film made Saint Tropez such a popular destination with tourists just off the back of this. Don't know whether it's got a Blu-ray. I'll have to investigate that, because it is one I'd like to upgrade. Larry sent me another Brigitte Bardot film a couple of weeks ago, so looking forward to watching that, because I think this is the only thing I've seen her in. I could say she absolutely sparkles. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Next up was David Fincher's Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Oh, look at me, look, half Brad Pitt. That'll impress the wife. This is compared a lot to Forrest Gump. Similar sort of thing, and I hate Forrest Gump. I cannot stand Forrest Gump. I think every single copy of Forrest Gump should be destroyed, because it's just sickly, sentimental rubbish in my eyes. But this I really enjoy, so I don't get the comparisons. This is about Brad Pitt. He plays Benjamin Button, and he's born a little old man in baby shape. And as he gets older, he gets younger, and it's a look of everything happens to him on that journey. He's got Tilda Swinton in, who's brilliant at everything, who he first falls in love with, and then it concentrates mainly on his relationship with Kate Blanchett. I'll be half Kate Blanchett then, who she also sparkles in this. There's a look at how he's getting younger and she's getting older, and how the relationship changes, the dynamics of it. And I really, really enjoy it. It's, again, nearly 3 hours long, but I just sit there engrossed in this. If you haven't seen this one, I recommend that to anybody. Really good stuff, and in my opinion, probably maybe in my top three favourite David Fincher films. Now, after watching that, this is sometimes how I roll. I watch other films by people that are in that. I went on to watch Kate Blanchett in Blue Jasmine. I'm not normally a Woody Allen fan, but I quite dig this one. This is all about Blanchett. She's married to Alec Baldwin. They've got the idyllic lifestyle, the big house, the big money, because he's supposed to be this successful businessman, but really he's a crook. He's conning people out of money, and he gets found out. He goes to prison and hangs himself, and Blanchett, she has to go and live with her sister, who played by the ever fantastic Sally Hawkins, in a very modest house, and has to change her lifestyle from this successful businessman's wife to trying to find a job, and the mental toil it puts her on. And again, this is just acted superbly by Blanchett, as you can see her struggling mentally with everything that's happened to her. And yeah, my favourite Woody Allen, like I say, I'm not a fan of his normally, but I really, really do dig this. This is like the second time I've seen it now. So yeah, another one I highly recommend. That's Blue Jasmine. Fantastic stuff. Next up, I watched The War of the Worlds on 4K. And at first I was very surprised, because I'd seen it as a kid and I could have sworn it was a black and white film. So when it was actually in Technicolor, I was really pleasantly surprised, actually. And the 4K, really good transfer. It looks sparkling, brand new film. They've done it really well. Doesn't look dated. I think the effects still pretty much hold up today, apart from maybe like the laser beam kind of stuff. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Good adaptation of the famous H.G. Wells novel. And to double that up with that film, I went in and watched When Worlds Collide, the other film on this double pack. Now that's in Blu-ray, not a 4K copy, which actually is a decent transfer as well. In my opinion, it wasn't that far behind the 4K. This is all about the Earth has got a planet and a sun heading towards it at a high rate of knots, and they've got to build a spaceship so that a select few people can blast off and land on the planet as it goes by to keep civilization going. Not as good as War of the Worlds. I found the first hour was a bit boring, but when it got to the actual bit where they're going to launch the spaceship and decide who was going to go in it, and of course that sparked an uprising with the people that couldn't make it on there, it was really, really enjoyable. Once the action kicked off, it just took a long time to get there. When they landed on the planet, they come out of the spaceship, and like the new planet, it's just a painting, an oil painting. There's absolutely terrible effects, but I suppose what can you expect for 1951? Yeah, all in all, decent double pack. I really clicked lucky with it and the price at CEX for 12 quid, because the week after I bought it, it went up to 18, so I was really pleased with that. Worthy addition to the collection. And last up for the week, the OG Mad Max. A lot of people say this is boring. I don't get that. I love this film. To me, this and The Road Warrior are the two best in the series. This has got far more heart, I think, than the latest iteration with Tom Hardy. Mel Gibson is Max, in my opinion. this is about him. It's a dystopian future, and one thing I do criticise about the film, it doesn't really go into any details about what's happened to the Earth and why it's like this now. But Max's sort of police type, authority type figure, it's not really explained how the police works now. It's a lot different to the police force now, and him and his buddies and his family, they're being chased around by this mad motorcycle gang, and chaos ensues. In fact, if I was to choose between this and the Road Warrior, I think this might just be my favourite, but I haven't seen the Road Warrior for a long time, so I might give that a watch soon, and maybe I'll change my mind. Yeah, so that's everything I've watched this week. Decent week's movies, I'm sure you'll agree. 7 again. If you've liked what I've done today, give me a like, maybe think about subscribing to see what I've watched next week. I'm out of here to enjoy the rest of the day. You have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you all soon. Goodbye.